Hey guys, what's up? Kalen here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. It's been a while, it's been a very long time, but we are back with another video, and today it is going to be a team and tactics video for you guys. It's been a long time since I made one of these as well. The first one I made was at the start of the game, when I think it was actually just before the game got fully released. It was during the pre-release of the game, technically. Anyway, I'm making this video because I was struggling to find tactics that really suited my playstyle and tactics that made the game fun. And I was just playing around and I stumbled across these tactics, or played around with this formation and the tactics with this formation. And honestly, it was looking really good. Now, in goals, I got Casillas at right back. I've gone with Alexander-Arnold over Kenny Lala. Now, I know Kenny Lala is considered to be absolutely insane, but for me and the way I'm going to play, in this formation, Trent gets the upper hand. I've gone with Strike and Ferdinand at centre back. Apparently, I've heard that this Pascal Strike card is absolutely next level, and I've got to say, after playing a few matches with him and then going back and recording this footage, he is just absolutely phenomenal. And I've got Ferdinand next to him. No, I did not get him from the Icon player pick that just came out. I've had him for quite some time actually. I packed it from Rival Rewards back when Future Stars was in packs. I've gone with Capdevila at left back ahead of Roberto Carlos because, as you can see, I'm going to be using a fullback rather than someone who's going to get forward and help out in the attack. So Capdevila is that man, especially with that Anticipate playstyle that he does, or Anticipate Plus playstyle that he does have. In the defensive mid roles, it's going to be Pedri and De Jong. Now, De Jong's not going to get any upgrades. Unfortunately, Barca have lost to Inter, so this Frenkie De Jong card, is going to stay at 93 rated. But alongside him, the 93 rated Pedri is absolutely phenomenal. These two make the team tick, and they're just absolutely next level. I think I'm going to go and put Tiki Taka Plus on the Frenkie De Jong card as well. At the cam position, starting off the list of attackers, it's between Desiree Doué and Kevin De Bruyne, and I've gone with Desiree Doué because of who we've got in left mid. It is Kvaratskhelia, another PSG man. He needed that link from a PSG player, and Doué provides that for him. So Kvaratskhelia, I packed him. 1 million coins, he was 1.5 when I packed him. So honestly, he has to go into the team. And the only way to do that is if I go and fit Doué into the team as well. Now on the right mid position, I've gone with Player of the Month, Mo Salah, which might be a bit of an odd choice considering we've got Said Alowairan on the reserves. And my reasoning for that is something I will explain in just a second. So if you look at a comparison of their cards, Alvaro is faster with better passing and physical. Shooting and dribbling is pretty much the same. But for me, what gives Mo Salah the edge on Alvaro? I know Alvaro has Inside 4+ and his 5-star. But what gives Salah the edge for me is the pinged pass plus and the finesse shot plus playstyle that he does have that Alvaro does not. In my opinion, playstyles are the most important thing in the game, and Salah's got finesse shot, or finesse shot plus rather, and that for me is honestly why he starts ahead of Alvaro. Salah's finesse shots in the game are absolutely broken, and I cannot ignore that in the right mid position. So he goes in the right mid position, and as striker, it's the last video I made on, the last video I made was on this man. It is Strike Force Fernando Torres, still in the team, still going strong. Is absolutely ridiculous, and is probably going to be in the team for a long time. Now onto the actual tactics. I've gone with the 4-2-3-1 wide formation, which you guys already know, and I've gone with the build-up style of balanced and a defensive approach of 66, which is very random. Why it's on 66, I don't know, but it works, so we're leaving it on that. Now, moving on to the most important part of this video, the player roles. You guys can see right here what the player roles are, and I will explain why the player roles are as they are so that you guys have a better understanding of basically how I play and why it is like this. So, Alexander-Arnold over Kenny Lala, because I'm playing this position as a false back and he must be set to defend, so he moves into the defensive mid position essentially when we have possession. Pedri, who is a defensive mid on that side, is going to be set to deep line playmaker and build up, so he is going to just move a little bit further forward than Frenkie De Jong. and because moving a little bit further forward, he needs someone to cover that space behind him when we are in possession. De Jong is just going to sit there. He doesn't need to move much. Capdevila needs to be set to defend, fullback and defend. Because Alexander-Arnold's moving into defensive mid, technically, as you can see, and then end up having Capdevila move into centre back and playing in what is, or what forms, a back three, which is very, very important. So Alexander-Arnold and De Jong essentially play as the two defensive midfielders when going forward. Pedri is then able to move forward, and everything in this team revolves around Pedri and Alexander-Arnold. They are two very important players in the team because of the play styles that they have. Alexander-Arnold at the false back position with the long ball plus is extremely, extremely useful. Desiree Doué playing in front of Pedri as a playmaker, a balanced playmaker, because I want him to be running everywhere and running the show for us in front of the couple of defensive midfielders essentially that we have in those areas. Salah and Kvaratskhelia both set to inside forward and attack, and the reason for that is the Tiki Taka football that you will play when these guys are all in close proximity. It's absolutely phenomenal and it's brilliant. To play him as a wide midfielder, for example, or even as a balanced inside forward, it doesn't give you that same effect. They're not as compact as they would be if they were right next to the striker, which is what they are if they are set to attack. So it essentially plays with a front three, two midfielders behind them, two midfielders behind those two, and then a back three. So it's essentially a 3-2-2-3 formation, which honestly is unheard of. So you can see defensively this formation is sound. It's 4-2-3-1, in my opinion, the best formation you can choose to defend with in this game. And going forward, it is so attacking and you've got so many players everywhere. It's just absolutely brilliant and beautiful, and what makes this formation are the players and the playstyles you have in each position. So Pedri, deep line playmaker, set to ball left, has got Tiki Taka and incisive pass, which is very, very useful. Alexander-Arnold is a false back in that right defensive mid position. He's got long ball plus and incisive pass, which, like I said, is extremely useful. Long ball plus, he can just get the ball and ping it across the pitch for anyone. Usually that's Kvaratskhelia, and on the other side you want someone else who can ping those long passes. That's Frenkie de Jong across the other side of the pitch to Salah to launch a quick counter attack if need be. And both of them are set to attack because you want them on that last man. You want them getting forward, hanging onto that last defender, just in the event that that ball comes over the top from Trent or Frenkie de Jong, and then they're through there in on goal. Torres is in the middle waiting. Doué is that player just behind Torres, waiting in the little pocket of space. Give it to him, hit the finesse shot if need be. So, in all honesty, that is how the team lines up. Another thing that we could do is Alexander-Arnold gets it into De Jong, De Jong gets it into Pedri, Pedri to Doué, and then all of a sudden we've got an overload of attackers, and more often than not, it's too many players for the defense to handle this five. If you think about it, Pedri, Doué, Torres, Kvaratskhelia, Salah, trigger that run from De Jong, it ends up becoming 6, and then you've got the back four of Capdevila, Ferdinand, Trent, and Strike. In all honesty, Strike, him being so fast and so strong is extremely, extremely useful, and you want those two centre backs set as defenders, nothing else. They have to be defenders. I know Strike doesn't have defender plus, but he must have. Honestly, you've got to have someone fast, and Strike is just too good for me to ignore. Anyway, that's enough of me yapping about the tactics. Let's go to some gameplay highlights and let me show you the damage that these tactics do in game. And you can see the Tiki Taka build-up play from the back, straight off the bat hit. Great play to get the ball into the opposition's half. Salah is on the run here, and I just need him to retain possession while we wait for the team to catch up. He does brilliantly, and unfortunately he does end up losing it, but Pedri is there, deep line playmaker, wins the ball back. Beautiful football, and this guy moves his goalkeeper, but that was absolutely phenomenal. You can just see what them playing as inside forward set to attack is going to do. They're going to be essentially playing as strikers in this formation. Here, Alexander-Arnold, beautiful pass across to Kvaratskhelia, and this is what I was on about. Get the ball to Trent or Frenkie, smash it across the pitch. Kvaratskhelia takes on his man, cuts inside. Salah's in acres of space, and it's an easy finish into the near post this time. I learned from the previous shot, didn't go across the goalkeeper because this guy moved him a little bit there as well. And we do end up getting the first goal of this video and of this match. So here, unfortunately, uncontrollable lag. This guy just runs straight through and scores. Really, honestly, nothing I can do about that. He's just going to run straight through, and I have no control of my players in that situation. It happens very often, and I just accepted it and learned to live with it. So, heading on to the next goal, Ferdinand wins back possession. Kvaratskhelia to Salah to Kvaratskhelia, who takes it very well and scores. So they're not so much really down to the tactics. We did end up stopping a counter attack. My players were still getting back into position. But anyway, we do end up scoring. Here from a goal kick, you can really see how the team takes shape and lines up. Dewey gets it into Pedri, and you can see them both in that midfield area. Brilliant work from Pedri. Salah then cuts inside, gets that into Dewey. Dewey finds Kvaratskhelia. There was absolutely no need for me to give the ball back to him, but I decided to give it back to him just for the sake of it, to show you guys the Tiki Taka-ness, if that's even a word, of this formation. So, moving on, Casillas into Alexander-Arnold, and what a pass that is to Kvaratskhelia, smashes it to him. 1-2 between him and Torres. I should have just ran to the space, taken a finesse shot. I expected him to come across with the midfielder. He didn't, and unfortunately we end up bottling this chance because that's a pretty good tackle from Thuram at centre back. So, heading on to the last goal of this match, I will put another game in this video just so you guys get a hang of the tactics and what they can do. Again, beautiful football. This guy tried to move his keeper across the goal, and it was too late for him to move him back. Ansu Fati off the bench, and he does end up scoring. So heading on to game number 2 in this video, this time we can see the guys' team. Not a great team at all, to be honest with you, but nonetheless, this is a good showcase of the tactics that I have worked up. So, straight off the bat, this guy gets a chance. Casillas comes out, makes a save. Pedri gets it into Salah, who drills that at Fernando Torres. Doe has it. I was trying to get it back to Torres, didn't quite work out. But we get the pass into Salah, and here I just need him to retain possession and wait for the runners, and he does a very good job. Alexander-Arnold running through in the box, and he's able to get that into Doe. In the playmaker position, just makes his way into the box, gets into Kvaratskhelia, who is not pushed out to the wing. He's set to inside forward, and you can see it there because he's right there to receive the pass. Here De Jong to Pedri to Salah. We lose possession, unfortunately, and this guy makes that pass forward. Alexander-Arnold trying to get that ball back. This guy absolutely cooks me there. He didn't cook me again here, and unfortunately, I end up scoring an own goal because I genuinely thought Ferdinand would be able to get to that. But honestly, my fault there. Got absolutely cooked defensively. Moving on to the second half here, we win the ball back eventually with Pascal's strike, or so I hope. No, we don't, because this guy's going to make a pretty good reverse pass, and he's going to find the back of the net, and he does end up getting a goal there. But it's okay, because we can still come back in this game. Here, Lineker has it, he loses out to strike. Ferdinand gets it into Alexander-Arnold, does very well, good footwork, gets it into Salah. Salah finds Pedri, Pedri finds Torres, and you guys can see the Tiki Taka football right here. It's absolutely brilliant. Salah skips past his man, he loses it there. We do get a corner, and from that corner we end up taking it with Alexander-Arnold. He whoops it in, and Ferdinand takes charge and wins the header and scores. Moving on to the last clip of this game, De Jong has it, gets it into Alexander-Arnold. Salah in the inside forward position gets it into Torres, who's going to run into the space and smash that into the back of the net for the final goal of this video. So, with that being said, I do bring an end to this video. You guys get the point of this game and how the tactics work, how the team plays, and in all honesty, you guys can clearly see the way the team lines up in possession is brilliant. Pedri has that free roam role basically of him being allowed to just go anywhere and everywhere he wants to go when we do have possession, and he doesn't have to worry about his defensive chores because Alexander-Arnold is there to step in and replace him in that sense. So, in all honesty, that is perfectly fine there. De Jong in that holding mid position is brilliant. Alexander-Arnold in the false back position is outstanding. Salah does a very good job down the wing. He's 1 million coins, so it does make sense. Actually, all in all, this team does cost about, well, if I'm going from defense to attack, Trent is 100,000, Casillas is SBC, I don't even know how much that costs. But Trent is 100k, Ferdinand is 400k or so, that's about 500. Strike is very cheap, Captivia is free, so we won't really count that. So defense is about 500,000. The midfield, Frankie de Jong is 700k, Pedri was about 100k SBC, so that's 800k. And the attack, well, Doe is 1 million. Kvaratskhelia was 1.5 when I backed him. Salah is another 1 million. So that plus Torres is about a 4 million coin attack that we've got right there, and it shows, and they carry so hard. But like I said, De Jong and Pedri are very, very important in this formation. The DMs are very important. Not two big, bulky defensive midfielders. They're two small, technical guys. And the defense does their job of defending. Pedri and De Jong just are there in front of them to protect them, to intercept those passes, and to play out from the back, because that is what they are very, very good at. So in all honesty, that is my opinion and thoughts on the team and the tactics that I use. And the tactic code is visible at the start of the video, but just to make it easier for you guys, I will put that in the description down below so you can use it and essentially not have to go through the effort of doing this. But I do think it's important because you can flip it. You can have the left back as a false back, the right back as a full back set to defend, and the left defensive mid as a deep line playmaker that's going to move forward next to the, well, attacking mid. So in all honesty, you can flip it if you want to. It would work like that. So it does depend on how you want to play, which is why I've given the long explanation instead of just giving you guys a code. So with that being said, I do bring it into this video. If you like it, smash the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I know it's quite a long video, so if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And until then guys, stay tuned for the next one. Peace.